Hello there and welcome to your seasonal self-care update for the month of December. In this video, I'm going to talk a little bit to the challenges of this month, which there can be quite a lot for us extra sensitive folk, and ways in which you can be mindful of this, and importantly, my top 3 suggestions for navigating this month and hopefully having a month where you enjoy yourself and see yourself well and thriving. If you are brand new to me and my work, my name is Nicola. I'm a yoga teacher, a yoga therapist. I'm also highly sensitive and neurodivergent myself. And this is what I do. I create content for other people like me who are extra sensitive in whatever fashion that is, and who are really looking to live a more mindful life where there's more calm, there's more balance, and there's greater connection. So let's get stuck into it. Let's begin with the challenges of this month. So it's December, obviously, and with that comes a lot more potential for overwhelm. So November, October, there's a lot of kind of transitional stuff going on, but by the end of November, early December, we are well in the throes of preparing for the holiday season, and this can be one of those months that really tips a lot of extra sensitive folk over the edge. It can really lead us to not enjoy this time of the year. I am well renowned for just really not enjoying the holiday period at all. That has changed since I have adapted the way I run my holiday season. So obviously, one of the main things, if you're highly sensitive, if you're neurodivergent and sensory issues is a big thing, then this is a month when those things can potentially cause overload. So there's more lighting, there's twinkly lights everywhere. Shops are particularly busy at this time of the year, obviously. There's more music about, there's just a lot more noise out there. And I don't just mean noise that you listen to, but just a lot more busyness out there in the world. On top of that, there is this increased cognitive overload. So if you struggle with, some of the executive functions, this can be a real test of those executive functions, because we're having to multitask a lot, or being asked to multitask. Whether we do or not is a different question, but we're being asked to hold lots of different mental lists. There's a lot more logistical stuff going on. If you've got kids, then there's probably, all sorts going on at the school. Just thinking about myself, we have a Christmas bazaar, like a Christmas fair, carol service, nativity, there's a sleigh thing that happens in where I live. There's a lot going on, and so it's a lot to remember. There's probably a lot more obligation as well to remember. So donations for this, tombola prizes, wrapping gifts, ordering gifts, getting the timings right, which if you struggle with that kind of thing, and I definitely do, that is a lot to hold in your mind, as well as just everyday life. On top of that, we have the potential for increased social overwhelm, because obviously this is a time of the year when we might want to be socialising with people, but we also might have more obligatory socialising to get involved in. So even with people that you really enjoy socialising with, who are your people, the people that get it, still is an extra thing. And often, not always, but often extra sensitive people do not gain energy by being around people. It can be pleasurable, but they need to retreat. We need to retreat in order to recoup the energy. And if we're constantly socializing or feel like we need to, then that can be another source of depleting our energy. I know this is all sounding very negative, but just bear with me. I really think it's important to be mindful of all of these things, because of course, if we are aware of them, even though we know this, but if we go into December knowing this, then we are more likely to make choices to navigate that bit better. Another thing is, and this isn't for everybody, but the whole process of gift buying and gift giving and gift receiving can be quite a sensitive thing for extra sensitive people. Lots of us really put in a lot of thought into our gifts, maybe overthink. I definitely overthink it. I want to make sure that I get the right gift for each person, and I think about what that person likes, and that it can be a source of energetic drain in and of itself, the research required to find the right gift. And it can be overwhelming giving and receive, just the act of giving and receiving gifts, because sometimes there's a lot of expectation and concern about, are we reacting in the right way, or how will this be received? Will they like it? So there's that. And then there's also potential for some of us, if we receive gifts from people who we know we've really thought about their gift ourselves, and then we receive something and we don't feel that there's much thought gone into it, there's potential for some emotional reaction there as well. So yeah, emotions can be heightened at this time. In addition to that, we have a lack of routine. Some of our normal ways of doing things can be disrupted, and lots of us who are extra sensitive really rely on those to kind of just keep us ticking over. And all of this can mean that, particularly if you are, and most of us who are neurodivergent in some way will be carrying some form of trauma or emotional healing that maybe is still going on. It can mean that with all of this load, it makes it easier for old patterns of behavior or beliefs or any kind of wounds that we have, emotional wounds, can kind of surface. So it might mean that we're more likely to engage in behaviors such as people pleasing, saying yes when we mean no, covering up our needs, dissociating from our bodies. And that really steps us onto really difficult ground as an extra sensitive person, because we have to keep coming back to our center so that we can tend to what it is that we need. Otherwise, we're no good for anybody. So that was quite a lot, and it feels quite heavy, and I don't want to be really negative about it, but I just want to be realistic. These are the challenges that really crop up and can really impact us as extra sensitive people. So it's really important to be mindful of that going into December. So I've got my 3 top ways then coming up of how you can go into December kind of ready, so that you can come out in actually enjoying the Christmas period or the holiday period, and that you don't end up getting to January feeling absolutely spent. So let's start. Number 1, and I'm definitely doing this, and it's a conversation that's happening just in my household as a family, is number 1, really pausing to ask what it is you need from this season. Just ask what it is you need. What is it that you need? Do you need lots of rest? Do you need to spend time with people that really get you? Do you need to get away? Do you need some more quiet time? I think this is really important, especially maybe just actually around the Christmas period. So that kind of Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, Boxing Day bit. How could you create a situation where at least some of the time is spent doing something or not doing something that really works for you? A lot of us will be drawn into obligation of maybe cooking for lots of people, or going around, doing the rounds, visiting everybody. And I understand how problematic it can be to say no to something, or to voice what works better for you. But just imagine how you would feel afterwards. And I don't mean immediately afterwards. I mean, like, come January, how relieved you might feel that you didn't overgive your energy. And that leads me to number 2, is to be really, really honest with yourself about your energy levels, and also importantly, what is most crucial for you this season, in terms of who you're seeing and who you're spending time with and what you're spending time on. Is it absolutely essential that you bake the mince pies to take to X event? Or could you just buy some? Is it crucial that you go at all? Like, do you want to go? Is asking those questions. And this isn't like, I'm not saying everyone has to be bar humbug, but there are many ways to enjoy the holiday period. And if we think seasonally about what this time of the year is actually about, it's about retreating, it's about rest, it's about spending really quality time with those that are important to us, and really stripping back unnecessary things. This isn't a time to be just like running around all over the place doing all the things for everybody. It's a time to draw inwards and just focus on those simple pleasures, those simple things in life, and yeah, those things that are most important. So a little bit of honesty might be helpful here. Uncomfortable to begin with, but absolutely so worth it. I have done this in the last few years and it makes such a difference. And that leads me to my third and final top tip, and probably the most important one, is rest. Use December to rest. There is no need to be, like I say, running around doing all the things. And if there are very particular events that you want to go to, really important people that you really want to see, and you want to make sure you have energy for those people, then have a nap. Go and lie down or do something that rests your mind. Maybe you want to sit and, I don't know, crochet for a bit. If you are a yogi, you might want to take your practice in a more restorative fashion, maybe doing a yoga nidra practice or a guided relaxation, so that your body and your mind in particular is rested, ready for not only to be able to give to those that you care about, but actually for you to enjoy, literally energy for yourself. Okay, so they are my top 3 things. There's many other things that you can do at this time of the year, of course, but I think that kind of sums it up. Remember that December we're now in winter, and it's really a time to retreat, even though our society is telling us to get out and be merry and all the rest of it. And if that's what you want to do, that is fine. But just being mindful that nature is kind of not closing down, but it's drawing inwards, and it's more than okay for us to do the same. Okay, thank you so much for watching this video. If you found it helpful, please hit the like button. It really helps my channel and supports other people in seeing it. But leave any comments below. What's helping you in December? How are you feeling? Have you gotten to December spent, or have you got a bit of energy? Feel free to share them in the comments, like I say. And of course, if you haven't subscribed to my channel, please do. And you might want to also share this video with someone who might benefit. All right, take care for now, and I hope you have a great month.